Hi there, Brody here again with another Psych Corner for the month. And this month I wanted to talk again about something more in the realm of like mental health and psychology that I think applies really directly to fitness, but really anywhere that you're making some sort of goal for self-improvement. I would probably say this is the first or second most important thing I try to get into my clients' daily mental practice, what both in fitness and in psychology work that I do. And at the same time, I know it takes time to develop this. It took me the better part of 2 to 3 years. And what this is basically a regular practice of self-compassion, right? There's another different ways to do that, which I'll mention. But generally, we're talking about something like being compassionate to yourself when you make a mistake or when you get off plan, and also just having some like a generally positive relationship with yourself moment to moment, and just kind of that act of forgiving and understanding why you might make a mistake or why you aren't and never will be perfect. So there's two studies I kind of want to talk about for how big a difference kindness and compassion can make on the human body and the human mind. So the first being, the human body. There's a study out of one of those big universities, I think it was Yale. But what they did in this study was they just had people observe a short video, and then I think they studied them for about an hour afterwards, about 50 minutes, something like that. And what they found was that people would sit and watch a video of Mother Teresa walking through a street, just being compassionate to people, being kind. People would approach her, she'd respond with warmth. And what they found in the immune response of the people watching this video was that their immune systems had this spike in efficiency and activity while they're watching this video and for about an hour after, which is really incredible. And I think, just the fact that we can change our body's ability to fight off disease through observing kindness, connecting people together, I think that's a big thing that I really wanted to mention in this video. And as we get back out there and supporting small business and supporting our communities and anyone in need, I think that's something really worth bearing in mind. But then to look even more directly at how this affects motivation, there's a second study I wanted to discuss where what they had people do was they had three groups. Two of them did a writing exercise. One group did a writing exercise of what they called self-esteem. So after they made a mistake regarding whatever, in the movement towards whatever goal they're working on, they would sit down and write for 3 minutes self-validating phrases. So like, I am a good person, I am capable, this is not who I am, those sorts of things for 3 minutes. And for the self-compassion group, they would have them sit and write to themselves like a short letter for about 3 minutes, trying to be just compassionate and understanding of why you might have made this mistake, right? Perfectly normal, perfectly natural, that kind of thing. And then the third group was just a control group. They didn't do anything. And what they found in this group is that there was significant measures that motivation was actually higher in the group that did the self-compassion exercise of writing to themselves for 3 minutes after any mistake. So what they did to find that was that they found that these people would study harder for a test. They'd spend more time studying than people in the other groups. They also found that they would have a higher level of motivation to address their weakness, whatever the mistake was or indicated about them. They had a higher level of belief that they could change it as well. Not only motivation too, but belief that they could. People in the other groups who just did the motivation kind of stuff, or who just did the control, who didn't have any sort of exercise that they didn't have as much resilience or that kind of consistent motivation to keep pursuing the goal. I think that that's pretty incredible, and that doesn't surprise me at all, because what I think this really comes down to, if I could put it all into one package for you, is that you can't build the body, you can't build the life, you can't accomplish the goals of someone you don't believe yourself to be. And people can be so cruel to themselves, and I've been very cruel to myself when we're trying to get ourselves to make progress, get ourselves to improve, but we're treating ourselves, in my opinion, like people who are not capable of improvement. So in this study, I just heard so clearly that the people who were writing these 3-minute messages to themselves of being compassionate, understanding that everyone makes mistakes, it's normal that you made this one, that helped them have a bigger gas tank to keep trying, keep pushing. And that's what this is. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Maybe being hard on yourself, if all you have to do is run 1 mile, would work really great. But weight loss, muscle building, even sort of like adjusting the way you conduct yourself in relationships, or even goals at work, those are long-term goals, and they take time, and they involve mistakes, and they involve failure. And being compassionate with yourself makes you very resilient to the consequences that failure and mistakes can have on eroding your motivation. So that's what I have for you today. Be kind to one another, be kind to yourselves, and I'll see you next month for another one. Take care.